Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr.Javed Ali, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry. Welcome to Nuclear Chemistry course. Today we are going to discuss the topic nuclear binding energy and mass defect. The following content will be covered in this lecture. First of all, what is nuclear binding energy? The amount of energy required to break up a nucleus into its individual nucleons. Nucleon means proton and neutron is known as nuclear binding energy. Now, according to law of conservation of mass and energy, the same amount of energy will be released when the nucleus is formed from its fundamental nucleons. Taking example of helium, the energy required to split the helium nucleus into its individual nucleon means 2 proton and 2 neutron. So the energy required to split the helium nucleus into 2 proton and 2 neutron is known as binding energy, and vice versa. The amount of the same amount released when 2 proton and 2 neutron combine and form the helium nucleus. The actual mass of the nucleus is always less than the sum of individual masses of fundamental nucleons because energy is released when the nucleus is formed. This missing mass is known as mass defect and represent the nuclear binding energy. So, for example, if we combine 2 proton and 2 neutron and convert it to helium nucleus, now the mass of the helium nucleus will be always smaller than the combined mass of protons and neutrons. Where has the mass gone? It's converted into energy, and that energy is known as binding energy. So there is a simple calculation by which we can calculate mass defect and binding energy. Mass defect can be calculated as the difference between actual masses of nucleus and expected from the combined masses of its protons and neutrons. So mass defect is equal to the combined mass of all protons present in the nucleus and combined mass of all neutrons present in the nucleus minus mass of the nucleus. We can use an alternative formula if we use the mass of the atom. So mass of the atom minus mass of the electron is equal to the mass of the nucleus. These all formula are same but only alternate forms. From this mass defect we can calculate the binding energy, nuclear binding energy, by using Einstein equation E is equal to mc square. If we take example of the helium-4, so mass defect can simply calculate, as we know the helium-4 has 2 protons and 2 neutrons. The actual mass of the helium-4 is 4 0.0015, and we know the mass of proton, this is 1.007. There is a 2 proton presence and there is 2 neutron, and the mass of neutron is 1.008. So combining the mass of all nucleon minus the mass of the helium nucleus, we get the answer is 0.03035 AMU. We can convert the mass defect from AMU into kg, as we know 1 AMU is equal to 1.66 10 raised to power minus 27 kg. So converting AMU into kg, mass defect is equal to 5.0298 multiplied 10 raised to power minus 29 kg. And from this we can calculate the binding energy. So putting the value of the mass and putting the value of c square, we get binding energy for the helium is 4.52 10 raised to power minus 12 joule. Now 4.52 10 raised to power minus 12 joule is the binding energy of helium nucleus. It means this amount of energy will be released when one helium nucleus is formed from its individual nucleon, and the same amount of energy required to break the helium nucleus into individual nucleons. Now from this we can calculate the binding energy per nucleon. Now in helium there is a 4 nucleon presence, so dividing this, the whole binding energy divided by 4, we get binding energy per nucleon, which is 1.13 10 raised to power minus 12 for the helium nucleus. We can also calculate the nuclear binding energy in MeV, mega electron volt. We know 1 joule is equal to 6.24 multiplied 10 raised to power 12 MeV. So by converting joule into MeV, we get binding energy for the helium is 27.16 MeV, and the binding energy per nucleon is 6.79. You can use, as we have already discussed the different alternative forms, you can calculate the binding energy from mass of the helium atom instead of the mass of the helium nucleus, and that you will put the mass of the electron. However, you will get the same result. From these calculation you can calculate mass of any nucleus if you know the number of proton and neutron presence in the nucleus. For example, this is for the helium 4. Now for the carbon 12, you know there is a 6 proton and 6 neutron. So, and you also know the mass of the helium, mass of the carbon 12. From this you can calculate the binding energy and binding energy per nucleon, and similarly for all other atoms. We know that the binding energy increase is the number of nucleon increase. For example, for helium 27, for carbon 92, for nitrogen 104, and so on. And the binding energy per nucleon, that is, for example, for helium is 6.79, for the carbon is 7.62. Now the binding energy per nucleon represents the stability of nucleus. Now look to this one. Carbon 12 is more stable than the helium-4 because the binding energy per nucleon is higher than the helium. Similarly, carbon 12 is more stable than the nitrogen-14 because the binding energy per nucleon of the carbon is higher than this as well. Although the binding energy of the carbon is higher than the helium and smaller than the nitrogen, however, the stability of the carbon because stability depends upon the binding energy per nucleon. And so you can also calculate for the other and you can compare. For example, oxygen is more stable than the carbon. So the binding energy per nucleon is very important parameters for describing the stability of the nucleus. You can also compare the stability in nuclear binding per nucleon of different isotopes. For example, helium-4 binding energy per nucleon is almost 2.5 times higher than the helium-3. So it means helium-4 isotope is more stable than the helium-3. Similarly, the carbon-12 nucleus is more stable than the carbon-13 because binding energy of carbon-12 is higher than carbon-13. And similarly, oxygen-16 is more stable than oxygen-18. The binding energy per nucleon increase as the number of nucleons with the number of nucleon present in the nucleus or mass number. The number of nucleon present in the nucleus is the number of proton and neutron, which is also known as mass number. So look to the graph or chart. The binding energy increase up to iron 56 and then decrease. There is a slight decrease onward, and this is known as nuclear binding energy chart or nuclear binding energy graph. However, look to the helium and carbon. The helium binding energy is much higher than the neighbors nuclei. For example, helium binding energy is higher than lithium, beryllium, boron, and similarly carbon binding energy is higher than the nitrogen. So as we already discussed that when there is a pair neutrons and pair protons present in the nucleus, so those nuclei are more stable than the other one. For example, look to the helium, there is a two proton, pair of proton and pair of neutron. In a lithium, there is an unpair of proton and unpair of neutron. So that's why the helium is more stable than the lithium. In beryllium, there is a pair of protons but unpairs of electrons. So that's why the binding energy of the helium is also higher than the beryllium. Boron, there is a pair of neutron present, however the protons are in unpair. And similarly, carbon 12 protons are present in pair and neutron are present in pair, while in the nitrogen the proton and neutron are present in unpair. So these are important things uh, when there are pair proton present and pair neutron present. These are some references. The most important reference over here is Essential of Nuclear Chemistry by Ernie. Thank you very much.